Located about 580 kilometers north of Thunder Bay, Ontario, on the north shore of Big Trout Lake is Kitchener-Mekusib-Ananawag, also known as the Big Trout Lake First Nation, or KI for short. Kitchener-Mekusib-Ananawag is one of the largest First Nations in northern Ontario, with approximately 1,300 on-reserve residents. KI is a fly-in community accessible by air and winter roads in the colder months. Dating back to the community's early roots in the fur trade, Kitchener-Mekusib-Ananawag served as a key transshipment and trading point. Business and people have always gathered at KI. Continuing this tradition today is KI businessman Stanley Bluecoat and his newly opened Sunset Lodge. The lodge is a full-function modern bed and breakfast operation featuring all the amenities expected by travelers. Not only is the Sunset Lodge a business operation, it is also Stanley's home. Lodge owner Stanley Bluecoat comments that the wait for band-supplied housing was not in keeping with his ambitions, so he started to take on the challenge of home ownership and construction himself.
I never got a house from the band. That's just on the list. I don't know. There's so many people on the housing list, and I never got a house. And what I thought was building up my own house, do it like phase by phase every year. That was my plan.
After completing the first phase of construction, Stanley approached the bank for additional funding. He received a pleasant surprise when the bank showed support for his project and suggested a full mortgage to allow the completion of his home in a much shorter time period.
I took pictures, photos to them while I was building, and this is what I'm doing. I told them, and I need to get some more, like, to do a second phase, I need more money, I told them. And I was waiting there, and they had a short meeting, and they came back after like 20 minutes, and they told me, Stan, why don't you just finish your house at once, go for a bank mortgage.
Stanley was aware that the issuance of mortgages and private home ownership on reserves was a rare situation, but with the support of his bank, his plans were fulfilled.
I told them, how can I do that? Nobody ever has a mortgage up north on the reserve. How can I do it? They told me, just go for it. You'll be the first one to get it.
Stanley remembers the feeling of receiving the call while he was on a road trip that his mortgage was approved.
Just on my way to Kenora, my cell phone rang, and it was CIBC. She phoned me and told me your mortgage has been approved. I was excited.
Home construction on remote reserves face many challenges, not the least of which is accessibility to quality building materials and sound advice from construction professionals. Stanley credits the support of his technical services advisor, Mel Barber, and the trust and support of his materials vendor, Spring Hill, as key elements in the successful completion of his new home. Assistance also came from the band through the supply of gravel material and the loan of heavy equipment required for the construction.
I got my materials on a winter road. They told me to get a contractor too. And so that's what I did. I got Stan Nestle from Soulcut. And that summer he came up, towards the end of June, and just start working on that where I left off.
Even though it was a long and tough road, Stanley offers encouragement for others on his reserve and in other First Nations communities that home ownership is indeed a rewarding experience. Home ownership not only strengthens the individual but the community as a whole. Stanley offers his help by sharing his knowledge and experiences with others hoping to own their own homes.
They can do it. I can do it, and they can do it. Like, I can help them out. Like, I have all the information, what I did, the paperwork, I have all the information. They need help, I can help them out.
Stanley also wants prospective homeowners to know that financing is not an insurmountable obstacle. Even if band financing is not available, there are other options that can be used to make their home ownership ambitions come true.
Just to do it if they want, like the bands, like the communities, they don't have enough dollars to get like housing dollars. They don't have enough. They can do it. Like if they want to build their own houses, I know they could do it, like the communities or even the community members. I'm very proud of my accomplishment.
The First Nations Northern Housing Conference is pleased to present Stanley Bluecoat of Kitchener-Mekoosa-Benunawag with the 2013 Community Innovation Housing Award. Private home ownership can be a reality in remote First Nations communities where quality homes can be constructed and financed by band members on their own terms and for their own benefit. Once again, congratulations to Stanley Bluecoat of Kitchener-Mekoosa-Benunawag for the 2013 Community Innovation Housing Award.